Sports Quotes 200 Quotes from Famous Athletes About Sports Psychology and Performance. Written by Nathaniel Ferguson. Narrated by John H. Feskins. One. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan. 2. The way a team plays as a whole determines its success. You may have the greatest bunch of individual stars in the world, but if they don't play together, the club won't be worth a dime. Babe Ruth. 3. Every day is a new opportunity. You can build on yesterday's success or put its failures behind and start over again. That's the way life is, with a new game every day, and that's the way baseball is. Bob Feller. 4. Sports are such a great teacher. I think of everything they've taught me: camaraderie, humility, how to resolve differences. Kobe Bryant. 5. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Vince Lombardi. 6. Gold medals aren't really made of gold. They're made of sweat, determination, and a hard-to-find alloy called guts. Dan Gable. 7. Sports do not build character. They reveal it. Haywood Brown. 8. You can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the farther you get. Michael Phelps. 9. That's one thing you learn in sports. You don't give up. You fight to the finish. Louis Zamperini. 10. It's just a job. Grass grows, birds fly, waves pound the sand. I beat people up. Muhammad Ali. 11. Champions keep playing until they get it right. Billie Jean King. 12. A good hockey player plays where the puck is. A great hockey player plays where the puck is going to be. Wayne Gretzky. 13. Just be patient. Let the game come to you. Don't rush. Be quick, but don't hurry. Earl Monroe. 14. To me, it doesn't matter how good you are. Sport is all about playing and competing. Whatever you do in cricket and in sport, enjoy it. Be positive and try to win. Ian Botham. 15. Apart from education, you need good health, and for that, you need to play sports. Kapil Dev. 16. You don't play against opponents. You play against the game of basketball. Bobby Knight. 17. The great thing coming from sports is you understand the concept of a team. It leaves no room for being selfish, and that's something I picked up from home. Michael Strahan. 18. Adversity causes some men to break, others to break records. William Arthur Ward. 19. These are my new shoes. They're good shoes. They won't make you rich like me. They won't make you rebound like me. They definitely won't make you handsome like me. They'll only make you have shoes like me. That's it. Charles Barkley. 20. Swimming is probably the ultimate of burnout sports. It's ironic because millions of people who swim as their regular exercise love the meditation aspect of it. You don't wind up with any orthopedic injuries. But when you swim at a world-class level for hours and hours, the loneness of the long-distance runner. Diana Nyad. 21. Serious sport has nothing to do with fair play. It is bound up with hatred, jealousy, boastfulness, disregard of all rules, and sadistic pleasure in witnessing violence. In other words, it is war minus the shooting. George Orwell. 22. I'm one of these people that likes adrenaline and new things, like extreme sports. It makes me feel alive. Giselle Bündchen. 23. I was very fortunate to play sports. All the anger in me went out. I had to do what I had to do. If you stay angry all the time, then you really don't have a good life. Willie Mays. 24. Wrestling is ballet with violence. Jesse Ventura. 25. I think sports makes for good drama because it has all the same ingredients as anything worth reading or listening to or watching. Conflict, desire, heartbreak, it's all there. Jay Baruchel. 26. You always get a special kick on opening day, no matter how many you go through. You look forward to it like a birthday party when you're a kid. You think something wonderful is going to happen. Joe DiMaggio. 27. If a tie is like kissing your sister, losing is like kissing your grandmother with her teeth out. George Brett. 28. Life wasn't easy growing up. It was frustrating. If I had been a better reader, then that would have come easily. Sports would have come easily. Everything would have come easily. And I never would have realized that the way you get ahead in life is hard work. Caitlyn Jenner. 29. I think that in any group activity, whether it be business, sports, or family, there has to be leadership, or it won't be successful. John Wooden. 30. One of the most basic factors in sports is that winning becomes a habit, and losing is the same way. When failure starts to feel normal in your life, or your work, or even your darkest vices, you won't have to go looking for trouble, because trouble will find you. Count on it. Hunter S. Thompson. 31. I am building a fire, and every day I train, I add more fuel. At just the right moment, I light the match. Mia Hamm. 32. Team sports are very important for shaping personalities. It's important that kids understand the mentality behind playing team sports, and playing for one another, and playing with friends. Brian O'Driscoll. 33. Play is the only way the highest intelligence of humankind can unfold. Joseph Chilton Pearce. 34. I'm a golfer. And what are the two sports you can do till you drop? Golf and surfing. They're great for you limber-wise, they're great for you health-wise, and they put you in sweet locations. Matthew McConaughey. 35. The paradox of endurance sports is that an athlete can never work as hard as he wants, because if he pushes himself too far, his hematocrit will fall. Malcolm Gladwell. 36. It doesn't matter if you win, as long as you give everything in your heart. Michael Jordan. 37. Honestly, I don't listen to nobody else's music but my own. It's kind of like sports to me. You don't see Kobe Bryant at a LeBron James game. He just works on his own game. And that's what I do. I only listen to me, so I can criticize and analyze and all those things. Lil Wayne. 38. You win some, lose some, and wreck some. Dale Earnhardt. 39. Olympism is the marriage of sport and culture. Juan Antonio Samaranch. 40. Approach the game with no preset agendas, and you'll probably come away surprised at your overall efforts. Phil Jackson. 41. Sports is the common denominator in the world that brings everyone together. If there's any one place in the world where there is equality, it is probably sports. That was something that didn't always exist. We've come a long way in sports. Why can't society use sports as a way to bring people together and create change? Stephen M. Ross. 42. Finding good players is easy. Getting them to play as a team is another story. Casey Stengel. 43. I love sports. I've played basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis, track, and field growing up. Michael Jordan. 44. Perhaps the single most important element in mastering the techniques and tactics of racing is experience. But once you have the fundamentals, acquiring the experience is a matter of time. Greg LeMond. 45. God made me fast, and when I run, I feel his pleasure. Eric Liddell. 46. Regardless of the obstacles or hurdles that are ahead of you, regardless of the opponent, regardless of the odds, your goal and objective always is to win. I think that's part of sports. Grant Hill. 47. Compared to politics, I think sports is funnier because it's inconsequential, and politics can be real important and all that. The more pointless something is, the funnier it is, you know? Norm MacDonald. For me, sports is a big part of my life. It helped me through high school. It helped me get better grades, because if you don't have good grades, you can't play sports. David Charvet. 49. Sports teaches you there is always a second inning in life. If you fail today, there's a second inning maybe 2 days later. Maybe there's another opportunity coming up 3 or 6 months later. If you look at mistakes as learnings and commit never to make a same mistake again, then you actually get better with every mistake that you make. Harsha Bogle. 50. The Olympic Games must not be an end in itself. They must be a means of creating a vast program of physical education and sports competitions for all young people. Avery Brundage. 51. Sports nurtures dreams of achieving self-confidence and masculine striving for the skinny kid watching a boxer dance around the ring with sublime ease. Armstrong Williams. 52. I used to play sports. Then I realized you can buy trophies. Now I'm good at everything. Dimitri Martin. 53. Unfortunately, the world is what it is now. People don't get along for whatever reason. As professional athletes, in a way, we're almost ambassadors for peace, because sports brings everyone together. Venus Williams. 54. The things that people do now in sports you can't even believe. These are complete, total athletes. To see what human beings can do in the highest level is amazing. Billy Joe Armstrong. 55. In most sports, your brain and your body will cooperate, but in rock climbing, it is the other way around. Your brain doesn't see the point in climbing upwards. Your brain will tell you to keep as low as possible, to cling to the wall and not get any higher. You have to have your brain persuading your body to do the right movements. Joe Nesbo. 56. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Les Brown. 57. There may be people that have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone to work harder than you do. Derek Jeter. 58. Victory is having done your best. If you have done your best, you've won. Billy Bowerman. 59. Age is no barrier. It's a limitation you put on your mind. Jackie Joyner Kersey. 60. Somewhere behind the athlete you've become and the hours of practice and the coaches who have pushed you is a little girl who fell in love with the game and never looked back. Play for her. Mia Hamm. 61. Hard days are the best because that's when champions are made. Gabby Douglas. 62. The only way to prove that you're a good sport is to lose. Ernie Banks. 63. Only he who can see the invisible can do the impossible. Frank L. Gaines. 64. When you're riding, only the race in which you're riding is important. Bill Shoemaker. 65. I always felt that my greatest asset was not my physical ability, it was my mental ability. Bruce Jenner. 66. A trophy carries dust. Memories last forever. Mary Lou Retton. 67. Number 1 is just to gain a passion for running, to love the morning, to love the trail, to love the pace on the track. And if some kid gets really good at it, that's cool too. Pat Tyson. 68. Most people give up just when they're about to achieve success. They quit on the 1-yard line. They give up at the last minute of the game, 1 foot from a winning touchdown. Ross Perot. 69. You have to do something in your life that is honorable and not cowardly if you are to live in peace with yourself. Larry Brown. 70. Baseball is the only field of endeavor where a man can succeed 3 times out of 10 and be considered a good performer. Ted Williams. 71. One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 50 preaching it. Newt Rockney. 72. The 5 S's of sports training are stamina, speed, strength, skill, and spirit. But the greatest of these is spirit. Ken Doherty. 73. An athlete cannot run with money in his pockets. He must run with hope in his heart and dreams in his head. Emil Zatopek. 74. When you've got something to prove, there's nothing greater than a challenge. Terry Bradshaw. 75. Never give up, never give in, and when the upper hand is ours, may we have the ability to handle the win with the dignity that we absorbed the loss. Doug Williams. 76. It's not the will to win that matters. Everyone has that. It's the will to prepare to win that matters. Paul Bear Bryant. 77. Persistence can change failure into extraordinary achievement. Marv Levy. 78. I've learned that something constructive comes from every defeat. Tom Landry. 79. Make sure your worst enemy doesn't live between your own 2 ears. Laird Hamilton. 80. Set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. Bo Jackson. 81. I became a good pitcher when I stopped trying to make them miss the ball and started trying to make them hit it. Sandy Koufax. 82. If you can't outplay them, outwork them. Ben Hogan. 83. People ask me what I do in winter when there's no baseball. I'll tell you what I do. I stare out the window and wait for spring. Rogers Hornsby. 84. Most people never run far enough on their first win to find out they've got a second. William James. 85. Do you know what my favorite part of the game is? The opportunity to play. Mike Singletary. 86. If at first you don't succeed, you are running about average. M.H. Alderson. 87. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Leanne Cardis. 88. Good is not good when better is expected. Vin Scully. 89. Champions keep playing until they get it right. Billie Jean King. 90. The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination. Tommy Lasorda. 91. What you lack in talent can be made up with desire, hustle, and giving 110% all the time. Don Zimmer. 92. You were born to be a player. You were meant to be here. This moment is yours. Herb Brooks. 93. How you respond to the challenge in the second half will determine what you become after the game, whether you are a winner or a loser. Lou Holtz. 94. The principle is competing against yourself. It's about self-improvement, about being better than you were the day before. Steve Young. 95. The road to Easy Street goes through the sewer. John Madden. 96. What makes something special is not just what you have to gain, but what you feel there is to lose. Andre Agassi. 97. One man can be a crucial ingredient on a team, but one man cannot make a team. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 98. Nobody who ever gave his best regretted it. George Halas. 99. Stubbornness usually is considered a negative, but I think that trait has been a positive for me. Cal Ripken Jr. 100. You've got to take the initiative and play your game. In a decisive set, confidence is the difference. Chris Evert. 100. The hardest skill to acquire in this sport is the one where you compete all out, give it all you have, and you are still getting beat no matter what you do. When you have the killer instinct to fight through that, it is very special. Eddie Rees. 101. When you win, say nothing. When you lose, say less. Paul Brown. 102. The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, you can do it, as long as you really believe 100%. Arnold Schwarzenegger. 103. During my 18 years, I came to bat almost 10,000 times. I struck out about 1,700 times and walked maybe 1,800 times. You figure a ball player will average about 500 at-bats a season. That means I played 7 years without ever hitting the ball. Mickey Mantle. 104. When I go out there, I have no pity on my brother. I am out there to win. Joe Frazier. 105. I never left the field saying I could have done more to get ready, and that gives me peace of mind. Peyton Manning. 106. Leadership, like coaching, is fighting for the hearts and souls of men and getting them to believe in you. Eddie Robinson. 107. You win some, you lose some, and some get rained out, but you got to suit up for them all. Jay Askenberg. 108. Always make a total effort, even when the odds are against you. Arnold Palmer. 109. Most talented players don't always succeed. Some don't even make the team. It's more what's inside. Brett Favre. 110. You have to expect things of yourself before you can do them. Michael Jordan. 111. Show me a guy who's afraid to look bad, and I'll show you a guy you can beat every time. Lou Brock. 112. To uncover your true potential, you must first find your own limits, and then you have to have the courage to blow past them. Picabo Street. 113. You can motivate by fear, and you can motivate by reward, But both those methods are only temporary. The only lasting thing is self-motivation. Homer Rice. 114. My motto was always to keep swinging. Whether I was in a slump or feeling badly or having trouble off the field, the only thing to do was keep swinging. Hank Aaron. 115. You find that you have peace of mind and can enjoy yourself, get more sleep, and rest when you know that it was a 100% effort that you gave, win or lose. Gordie Howe. 116. I didn't believe in team motivation. I believe in getting a team prepared so it knows it will have the necessary confidence when it steps on the field and be prepared to play a good game. Tom Landry. 117. Your biggest opponent isn't the other guy. It's human nature. Bobby Knight. 118. If you train hard, you'll not only be hard, you'll be hard to beat. Herschel Walker. 119. If you can believe it, the mind can achieve it. Ronnie Lott. 120. Without self-discipline, success is impossible. Period. Lou Holtz. 121. If you don't have confidence, you'll always find a way not to win. Carl Lewis. 122. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Michael Jordan. 123. Excellence is the gradual result of always striving to do better. Pat Riley. 124. Make each day your masterpiece. John Wooden. 125. Win if you can, lose if you must, but never quit. Cameron Trammell. 126. Just keep going. Everybody gets better if they keep at it. Ted Williams. 127. What to do with a mistake. Recognize it, admit it, learn from it, forget it. Dean Smith. 128. Push yourself again and again. Don't give an inch until the final buzzer sounds. Larry Bird. 129. If you aren't going all the way, why go at all? Joe Namath. 130. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. John Wooden. 131. You can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the farther you get. Michael Phelps. 132. Pain is temporary. It may last a minute, or an hour, or a day, or a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it lasts forever. Lance Armstrong. 133. Wisdom is always an overmatch for strength. Phil Jackson. 134. Never let your head hang down. Never give up and sit down and grieve. Find another way. Satchel Paige. 135. The will to win is important, but the will to prepare is vital. Joe Paterno. 136. Some people say I have attitude. Maybe I do, but I think you have to. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That makes you a winner right there. Venus Williams. 137. Never let the fear of striking out get in your way. Babe Ruth. 138. I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Muhammad Ali. 139. It is not the size of a man, but the size of his heart that matters. Evander Holyfield. 140. A champion is someone who gets up when he can't. Jack Dempsey. 141. There are only two options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. There is no such thing as life in between. Pat Riley. 142. It ain't over till it's over. Yogi Berra. 143. Never give up. Failure and rejection are only the first step to succeeding. Jim Valvano. 144. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. 145. When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want them to bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my butt. Bobby Knight. 146. The highest compliment that you can pay me is to say that I work hard every day, that I never dog it. Wayne Gretzky. 147. Don't measure yourself by what you have accomplished, but by what you should have accomplished with your ability. John Wooden. 148. To be the man, you have to beat the man. Ric Flair. 149. Sportsmanship for me is when a guy walks off the court and you really can't tell whether he won or lost, when he carries himself with pride either way. Jim Courier. 150. Excellence is not a singular act, but a habit. You are what you do repeatedly. Shaquille O'Neal. 151. I can't play being mad. I go out there and have fun. It's a game, and that's how I'm going to treat it. Ken Griffey Jr. 152. A good coach will make his players see what they can be rather than what they are. Ara Parsegian. 153. In the end, it's extra effort that separates a winner from second place. But winning takes a lot more than that, too. It starts with complete command of the fundamentals. Then it takes desire, determination, discipline, and self-sacrifice. And finally, it takes a great deal of love, fairness, and respect for your fellow man. Put all these together, and even if you don't win, how can you lose? Jesse Owens. 154. Most people run a race to see who is fastest. I run a race to see who has the most guts. Steve Prefontaine. 155. It's not the disability that defines you. It's how you deal with the challenges the disability presents you with. We have an obligation to the abilities we do have, not the disability. Jim Abbott. 156. I've worked too hard and too long to let anything stand in the way of my goals. I will not let my teammates down, and I will not let myself down. Mia Hamm. 157. The time when there is no one there to feel sorry for you or to cheer for you is when a player is made. Tim Duncan. 158. Keep your dreams alive. Understand to achieve anything requires faith and belief in yourself, vision, hard work, determination, and dedication. Remember, all things are possible for those who believe. Gail Dyers. 159. The spirit of sports. The spirit of sports gives each of us who participate an opportunity to be creative. Sports knows no sex, age, race, or religion. Sports gives us all the ability to test ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally in a way no other aspect of our life can. For many of us who struggle with fitting in or our identity, sports gives us our first face of confidence. That first bit of confidence can be a gateway to many other great things. Dan O'Brien. 160. I always tell kids, you have 2 eyes and 1 mouth. Keep 2 open and 1 closed. You'll never learn anything if you're the one talking. Gordie Howe. 161. Sports creates a bond between contemporaries that lasts a lifetime. It also gives your life structure, discipline, and a genuine, sincere, pure fulfillment that few other areas of endeavor provide. Bob Cousy. 162. I have always tried to be true to myself, to pick those battles I felt were important. My ultimate responsibility is to myself. I could never be anything else. Arthur Ashe. 163. Competitive sports are played mainly on a 5.5-inch court, the space between your ears. Bobby Jones. 164. Every kid around the world who plays soccer wants to be Pelé. I have a great responsibility to show them not just how to be like a soccer player, but how to be like a man. Pelé. 165. Treat a person as he is, and he will remain as he is. Treat him as he could be, and he will become what he should be. Jimmy Johnson. 166. You have to be able to center yourself, to let all of your emotions go. Don't ever forget that you play with your soul as well as your body. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 167. My dad has always taught me these words: care and share. That's why we put on clinics. The only thing I can do is try to give back. If it works, it works. Tiger Woods. 168. Whoever said it's not whether you win or lose that counts, probably lost. Martina Navratilova. 169. I'll let the racket do the talking. John McEnroe. 170. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. Archie Griffin. 171. Perhaps the single most important element in mastering the techniques and tactics of racing is experience. But once you have the fundamentals, acquiring the experience is a matter of time. Greg LeMond. 172. You need to play with supreme confidence, or else you'll lose again, and then losing becomes a habit. Joe Paterno. 173. You have to have the mentality of executing your game when you don't feel like there's a lot of hope. I think the best feeling is when somebody pushes you to the limit and you dig down a little bit extra. By the same token, you also need a little luck. Sometimes they come together. Andre Agassi. 174. Ask not what your teammates can do for you. Ask what you can do for your teammates. Magic Johnson. 175. Leadership is a matter of having people look at you and gain confidence, seeing how you react. If you're in control, they're in control. Tom Landry. 176. To succeed, you need to find something to hold on to, something to motivate you, something to inspire you. Tony Dorsett. 177. The difference between the old ball player and the new ball player is the jersey. The old ball player cared about the name on the front. The new ball player cares about the name on the back. Steve Garvey. 178. The fewer rules a coach has, the fewer rules there are for players to break. John Madden. 179. One day of practice is like one day of clean living. It doesn't do you any good. Abe Lemons. 180. An athlete cannot run with money in his pockets. He must run with hope in his heart and dreams in his head. Emil Zatopek. 181. I figure practice puts your brains in your muscles. Sam Snead. 182. The more I practice, the luckier I get. Gary Player. 183. I feel like I'm the best, but you're not going to get me to say that. Jerry Rice. 184. I quit school in the 6th grade because of pneumonia. Not because I had it, but because I couldn't spell it. Rocky Graziano. 185. Baseball is like church. Many attend, but few understand. Wes Westrom. 186. Most football players are temperamental. That's 90% temper and 10% mental. Doug Plank. 187. Basketball is like war in that offensive weapons are developed first, and it always takes a while for the defense to catch up. Red Auerbach. 188. When you lose a couple of times, it makes you realize how difficult it is to win. Steffi Graf. 189. It took me 17 years to get 3,000 hits in baseball. I did it in one afternoon on the golf course. Hank Aaron. 190. For me, winning isn't something that happens suddenly on the field when the whistle blows and the crowds roar. Winning is something that builds physically and mentally every day that you train and every night that you dream. Emmett Smith. 191. I learned that if you want to make it bad enough, no matter how bad it is, you can make it. Gail Sayers. 192. What's the difference between a 3-week-old puppy and a sports writer? In 6 weeks, the puppy stops whining. Mike Ditka. 193. Statistics are like bikinis. They show a lot, but not everything. Lou Piniella. 194. I had a lot of growing up to do. A lot of times I learned the hard way. Allen Iverson. 195. I think the reason why I am who I am today is because I went through those tough times growing up. LeBron James. 196. Success comes after you conquer your biggest obstacles and hurdles. Stephen Curry. 197. Playing football is very simple, but playing simple football is the hardest thing to do. Johan Cruyff. 198. What is speed? Speed is often confused with insight. When I start running earlier than others, I appear faster. John Cruyff. 199. All kids need is a little help, a little hope, and someone who believes in them. Magic Johnson. 200. We all have to play as a team to make the world a better place. Magic Johnson. This has been Sports Quotes, 200 quotes from famous athletes about sports, psychology, and performance. Written by Nathaniel Ferguson. Narrated by John H. Feskins. Copyright 2017 by Nathaniel Ferguson. Production copyright 2017 by Nathaniel Ferguson.